grab your snowballs, make a snowman. Merry Christmas, everybody. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special episode of Beware the Board, a horror podcast where we watch a randomly selected horror movie every single week. Except, Ben, we're not doing that because it's fucking Christmas time.
Yay.
Woo! Oh, that was better. Hey, we're looking up. Doing better than last year.
Look, I'm more excited by the fact that when this episode's coming out, there's a bunch of stuff dropping,
Yeah.
like the Nosferatu.
Mm-hmm. We should go see that in theaters.
Have you seen the first one?
No.
Yeah.
Like the original?
Yeah.
Well, no, because you haven't. You put it in the random.
I put it in German Expressionism, which
Yeah.
we somehow haven't drawn after a bunch of seasons.
a bunch of seasons, yeah.
Yeah, Christmas episode.
Christmas.
What did we do last year?
Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Is that our first Christmas episode?
No, Black Christmas.
Oh, yeah, that was a good movie.
Good movie. Not as good of a movie, but a fun time.
Silent Night, Deadly Night was not
Yes.
a good movie.
Yeah.
Black Christmas was great.
Great movie. Fantastic movie. Okay, before we get to the movie, because, I don't know what we're watching this year, and I'm kind of scared because it could be really bad.
Hear me out. We're watching a Christmas-themed horror movie.
That's
Or maybe action movie. It depends on like how you view stuff.
no. Ben? No. No.
What question are you gonna ask me? Why did you take care of that first?
Stupid. Now I'm mad because I think I'll ask you this question and then we'll get to me being angry in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna calm back down. What's your favorite Christmas movie? I asked you this question earlier off the podcast, but then I decided to save it for the podcast.
Yeah, I mean that's like such a hard question, Really like hard to think about, Might even kill me. Might have to think about it so hard.
God, we're not, Ben. If you do that to me, I'll quit.
But I honestly don't know because like I never watched like Christmas movies.
Really, that's crazy. Oh,
Yeah.
well, never mind. I just thought about something, and that makes more sense, huh?
I think my favorite Christmas movie is maybe Nightmare Before Christmas.
Well, that makes sense.
But that's mostly because, like, when I'd go and visit my family for the holidays, when I was little, it's like a 10-hour road trip, and we had one of those portable DVD players, and that was, like, one of the films I've owned since I was really, really young. It's Nightmare Before Christmas.
That makes sense.
So I'd watch it a lot on, like, a trip like that. So it's probably the Christmas movie I've seen the most. I've seen Elf, like, a handful of times.
Elf's okay.
It's fine. I've seen the... What's that film with the Red Ryder BB gun?
Oh, A Christmas Story?
I've seen A Christmas Story.
Christmas Story's really
a bunch.
good.
That's my dad's favorite Christmas
That's
movie.
also my dad's favorite.
We went to the museum, like the house in, what was that, Cleveland?
Yeah, I think so. No, every year my dad they always do what, A Christmas Story, like 24 hours marathon or whatever. My dad
Yeah.
always puts that on.
There's It's a Wonderful Life. That's a good film.
I've never seen that movie.
Gremlins is also a Christmas movie.
I guess Gremlins is technically a Christmas movie, yeah.
Do you have a favorite Christmas movie?
Oh, yeah, it's the live-action Grinch with Jim Carrey.
That is a good one, too. I watched that one
That's
a lot
my
as
favorite
well.
Christmas movie. It is so... That movie is so funny.
That's my favorite Grinch adaptation.
Oh, yeah, I think it's
And
the best one.
I think it's probably my favorite Dr. Seuss, like, film.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really good.
Because it is really, really good. He had to go through torture training for
I
it,
know,
which
I
is
know.
always an insane fact.
It is. Going back to the Nightmare Before Christmas thing, this is totally unrelated and an aside, but I think it's so funny. I was watching two people on YouTube. They were basically doing a Christmas tier list of how bangable Christmas characters were, and Oogie Boogie came up, and one of them didn't know what Oogie Boogie was, and one of them was just like, yeah, he's made of bugs.
Yeah, he's straight up like a burlap sack filled with bugs.
Filled with bugs. And then he was like, and his Oogie Boogoosy's hanging out the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, I don't.
It had me rolling. They put Oogie Boogie in F tier, by the way.
I don't think you would. You want
No.
to?
No.
It was
No.
filled with spiders too.
Spiders in the... No.
See?
No. Anyway, I just thought I should bring that up because I thought it was funny.
No, I mean that's completely fair. That is funny. That's not the one I thought you were gonna go for, but
Well, I mean, Jack Skellington was also on the list, but Jack Skellington got put really high up.
I've seen enough like people with that tattoos to know that.
Yeah. People think he's hot. I don't, but people do.
You don't want to bone daddy?
Ugh. No.
Because get it? He's made of bones.
Ben, I understood. Stop. Just stop. Anyway, now we can talk about the movie. Ben, what are we watching for Christmas this year?
Die Hard.
We're not watching Die Hard. Stop.
Die Hard.
We're not watching Die Hard. See, I knew you were gonna do this. This is no way. There's no way. We're not doing this.
Yeah.
We're not watching fucking Die Hard.
We're watching
for Christmas.
Die Hard.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Ben.
I prepped it.
Ben.
It's in my notes.
Ben. We are not doing. We're supposed to watch a fucking.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's not a horror movie.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's also not a Christmas movie, and I'm not arguing with you because I had this argument at Thanksgiving with my girlfriend's parents.
It's set during Christmas.
I don't give a fuck if it's
It
set during
features
Christmas. It doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
Christmas stuff. And best of all, it has Alan Rickman.
Okay, Alan Rickman is really good. I'll
See?
give you that.
Have you ever seen Die Hard? This is a separate thing.
No.
So you can't even make this argument.
No, I can make the argument.
You've never seen Die Hard,
I've never seen it, but I know it's not a fucking Christmas
but
movie.
you're going to see it.
No, I'm not. Ben, I'll leave.
Will you really not watch it?
Did you actually prep Die Hard?
I actually prepped Die Hard, but I have another option if you really don't want to watch Die Hard.
What's your other option?
We're not watching Die Hard?
No, are you serious that you actually thought we were
I
going
prepped another one because I knew you'd do this. Ready? Watching a film from 1997 titled Jack Frost.
Oh, fuck. No. Ben! No! I don't want to watch this movie.
Why not? Oh, yeah. Is it because of the one scene?
Yes.
I forgot you had issues and stuff like that.
Well,
Well, gonna watch it
we're
anyways.
going to watch Jack Frost.
Not to be confused with I believe it's the 1998 or 99 family-friendly
Jack Frost.
Jack Frost film.
Which is fine. This one.
Well,
we'll
it's
have to
not
watch.
great, but like,
No, but I mean, it's better than this one.
yeah.
Nah.
Depends on what you want.
Yeah.
Description. This one isn't family-friendly.
It's not family friendly at all.
It's an hour and 29 minutes long.
Oh, normal length movie.
Yeah, it's rated R.
Oh, thank God.
Review scores. IMDb gave it a 4.7 out of 10.
That's not as bad as I thought.
A tomato meter score of 16%. And an audience score of a whopping 31%.
That's way higher than I thought it was going to be.
I mean, that's not like a shocking thing.
No, but this movie is notoriously bad.
Yeah, but like, is it going to be worse than our favorite film of all time? You know, our favorite film of all time. Nice tits, bitch.
I mean, probably not.
Yeah, probably not, honestly. I couldn't find one for the 1997 Jack Frost on Metacritic, so we don't have that again.
Ah, okay.
So sorry about that. That being said, for awards and nominations, can you guess how many we have?
Probably 0 and 0.
Wow, that was such a shocker.
I know. I'm so good at guessing.
All right, notable actors. We have Scott McDaniel. Scott McDonald. I'm sorry, I don't know where that came from. As Jack Frost, he played D.I. Fitch in Jarhead. Christopher Allport as Sam Tyler. He was Max Waxman in To Live and Die in L.A. Stephen Mundell as Agent Manners. He was Detective Freddie Carson in Night Heat. He was on 95 episodes between 1985 and 89. F. William Parker as Paul Davro. He was Sergeant in Revenge of the Nerds, which is... You definitely have issues with that film.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Revenge of the Nerds?
Yeah.
It's a wacky film full of 80s hijinks that just happen to be just all sex crimes.
Whoa. Yeah.
Like, literally all sex crimes.
that sounds awful.
There is a scene involving a Darth Vader mask, and that's all I'm going to say.
Oh, God.
Eileen Seeley as Ann Tyler. She was Martha Wayne in Batman Forever.
Oh, hell yeah. Batman. Let's go.
Woo! It's not like the greatest Batman film ever.
No,
but
it's not. But I mean, we got to get our Batman.
It's down there.
It is down there.
Rob LaBelle as Agent Stone. They were Wally Weaver in Watchmen. Zach Eggington as Ryan Tiller. They did additional voices in The Iron Giant, which is actually a great film.
That's pretty cool.
You've seen The Iron Giant.
Oh,
right?
Iron Giant's great, yeah.
Jack Lindine as Jake Metzner. They were Al Martelli in Code Red. They were on 13 episodes between 1981 and 1982. Kelly Jean Peters as Sally Metzner. They were Olga and Little Big Man. Marsha Clark as Marla. They did the voice of Kaio and Ponyo.
Oh,
the English version,
that's really sweet.
which is kind of cool. And then probably one of the more famous actors, I think, for a lot of people nowadays is Shannon Elizabeth as Jill Metzner. She was Buffy Gilmore in Scary Movie.
I don't remember who that is.
The beauty pageant girl.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. Well, hold on. Sorry. I have a totally separate aside. Did you see that they're going to make Scary Movie 6? The two brothers that worked on the original movie are coming back and they're working on 6.
Oh, the Wayans brothers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
meant to talk about that a while ago on the podcast.
Because they're only in the first 2, I
Yeah,
believe.
I know. They're coming back and doing 6, which is super cool.
That's really cool. Especially because another aside that we didn't talk about a while ago. During Thanksgiving, like that whole week, I was dog sitting. I watched all the Scary Movie movies.
Oh, really?
White Chicks and the Haunted House films.
Hell yeah.
Because I was like, wow, all these Wayans brothers films are
They're wild.
easy to find. Director of this movie is Michael Cooney. He also directed Center Stage. He did 27 episodes between 2007 and 2009. He's also one of the writers, so he has a story and a screenplay credit. He wrote Identity, and then the other writer is Jeremy Page. He hasn't written anything else, but he does have a story credit on this. Couldn't find anything about the box office or the budget.
Nice.
Part of that is, this was direct to video and also cheap. But country of origin, United States.
Oh, nice.
And the tagline, he's chilling and killing.
He's chilling and killing. For those of you that aren't aware of what this movie is a movie about a killer snowman. Goofy concept.
Yes, it is. Is it executed well?
Nah, we'll see.
No.
I haven't seen this movie in a long time.
Oh, you've seen it?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
why I know I'm not going to like it.
This movie is the film debut of Shannon Elizabeth, so the person from Scary Movie.
Oh,
so
that's
that's
cool.
kind of cool. She is the one from the scene.
Yep. Okay.
Apparently, this film was originally written as a straight horror film. Like, it was actually supposed to be a real
A real, like,
scary movie. But due to budgetary restrictions, they ended up adapting it into a horror comedy. I think they basically got the suit back, and they were like, oh,
This looks ridiculous.
we cannot do this. The film was shot in California during a severe drought, which led to a lack of snow and temperatures as high as 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, my God.
Leading to a use of foam and cotton on set in place of snow, which, to be honest, you can tell because everything looks like super fake. But I want you to remember that as we're watching this movie and look at how many people are wearing like heavy winter coats and remember
Oh,
it's 70
God.
degrees. And I think this is kind of like the last thing I want to mention. This film was shot over a period of 18 days.
That's not a long time at all.
And while it was released in 1997, it actually wasn't shot until 1994. Or it was released in 1997. It was shot in 1994.
So 3 years.
Yes. Because it was deemed unmarketable.
Okay, you know what? I get it. Because it is unmarketable.
So that's all I got
Okay.
on
Fuck.
Jack Frost.
Oh, God. I should have just let us watch Die Hard.
Maybe
should've.
next year.
No, I've already committed. I'm not doing it. But we'll see you guys after the movie. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. We just finished watching Jack Frost.
Yeah, what'd you think?
To be honest, not as bad as I remember,
No,
but still not good.
Okay, look, it's a not good movie.
Yes,
But we like not good movies here.
we do like not good movies usually.
And on the scale of not good holiday films, it was better than Thanksgiving.
Oh, definitely better than
And I had a
Thanksgiving.
better time than I think Leprechaun.
That's fair.
You know?
Totally fair.
So, not
awful.
Not awful. Definitely not the best Christmas movie,
No.
but not as bad as I expected.
Yeah, not nearly as bad as I remember.
So if that sounds like a winning recommendation, as always, I'd recommend you go watch it before we spoil anything.
Oh yeah, for
'Cause,
sure.
There's not a lot there.
But I will admit, it's kind of a wild ride if you don't know what it's about.
Exactly. With that being said, I'm going to do our usual thing. I'm going to give a brief little description. Probably won't need much of it, and then we'll get into actually spoiling this film. We're probably going to be pretty loosey-goosey on spoilers, just because
There's not a lot to spoil.
there's not a lot to spoil. With that being said, what this film is about is there's this sheriff. I think his name's Sam Tyler.
Yep. You got it right.
And he's the sheriff of Snowminton, Colorado, in
Yeah.
the greater Snowminton area. And I think a couple years ago at this point, or at least a year ago or whatever, sometime in the past, flashback sequence enabled, he caught a notorious serial killer who swore that he'd get him no matter what.
Yeah.
And that guy's name was Jack Frost. And Jack Frost just happened to die in Snowmington on the way to his execution and become a killer snowman.
Yep. Through some shenanigans.
Shenanigans, yes. If that sounds cool, check it out. With that being said, I think we can actually get into talking about this film. And kind of the first thing I want to say about this movie is that it's dumb.
It's so dumb.
But it knows that it's dumb, and
yes.
it leans into it. I have to say, you can tell in some places that this was originally intended to be a straight horror film.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily in a lot of the deaths, but more so in like how graphic some of the gore is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
The best example I can think of that is when Jack dies and becomes a snowman.
Mm-hmm.
That is, first of all,
horrific,
but very well done.
It looks really
shockingly
good.
Enough. Let me put it this way. He's transformed into a snowman with the power of acid.
Yeah.
And, I part of me kind of wishes the film had the budget to go for like a full horror film.
It would have been crazy.
Because those parts are really cool, and I think there's a lot of promise for a premise that is like unkillable snow monster.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad they leaned into the comedy aspects of this film.
Because I think the concept is in and of itself very, very goofy.
Well, it's ludicrous.
It's ludicrous. And to take it and do it really seriously would be extremely difficult and cost a lot of money. And by leaning into the comedy aspect, they saved themselves a lot of money and also made a better movie than I think they could have if they'd been more serious.
Yeah, because honestly speaking, I think they stretched out the budget they had
Mm-hmm.
fairly well.
Yeah.
Everything looks cheap, but it's like the cheap quality of, I don't know, like a daytime television show, like a long-running TV show from the time period, which is not that bad, honestly.
It's not
like
awful.
quality-wise. They have a bunch of different sets. They essentially have a town going on,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like costuming and stuff, including a killer snowman costume, which
We'll get to.
get to. But they stretch their budget really far for what they have, but it still definitely wouldn't have been enough for a straight horror film.
Mm-hmm.
And the comedy in it's, I think, pretty fun for the most part.
Some of it hits.
I wouldn't necessarily say it lands all the time,
No.
but it's funny because it's just so dumb. Jack Frost really falls into the category of quippy slasher villains, in the same vein as like Freddy Krueger
Yeah, but
or Leprechaun.
But Freddy's jokes are funny and in context work. Jack Frost's jokes are not funny, and some of them just make no sense.
Yeah. And that's kind of how this whole film feels like, is it's just a bunch of like really stupid gags. And sometimes they're so absurd that
it
you
is
laugh.
funny, yeah.
And there's just so much thrown at the wall that sometimes stuff sticks. I think my favorite like gags just off the top of my head is there's a bunch of weird background like extra voices sometimes
Yeah.
that'll say insane shit.
Just the most insane thing you've ever heard.
Like someone gets their head chopped off and they're comparing that character was taller than this other one, and you just hear a background voice of not anymore.
Yeah, like shit like that. Like,
Or
Jesus Christ.
there's an implication that someone's in a room fucking a goat.
Yep.
So I think that's really good. Or like characters will do wacky stuff. One character's like rocking a rocking chair.
With a dead body in it, by the way,
'Cause
for
it's-
context.
It's supposed to look like, the wind in a traditional movie,
No.
rocking something like that. So yeah, I do think it handles the comedy elements really, really well. Not good, but well for what this movie ended up being.
Yeah. Agreed.
On another note, I think the soundtrack worked out pretty well.
I don't know if the soundtrack worked out.
Okay, let me put it this way. Is it good soundtrack music?
No.
Not really. It's very weird and distinct. It's a
Yes.
lot of like bizarre choices. Like there's sometimes like an island breeze kind of theme. Like one scene had a sound that it sounded like something from SpongeBob.
Yeah, it sounded like the Bikini Bottom theme or something.
Like the what is
The
that?
ukulele.
A ukulele strum. There's some like heavy metal Christmas music.
Yep.
Some like clown stuff. It's all over the place. But I think that works for how all over the place this film is.
Yeah, I mean, that's
In
fair.
just an insane way. It's like, what am I watching?
No, near the end of the film, they like start like the final showdown with like Jack Frost. They just start playing like heavy rock music.
Oh, they were Christmas songs.
Yeah, it's just like Jesus Christ.
And I think that's fun, but it was even better because a lot of the ludicrous sound choices were also good musical cues for like musical jokes.
Yeah.
And I always like little transition jokes like that.
Mhm.
And I do think it had some decent transition jokes because of that. I forget, someone was making a joke about what happened. Did someone die?
Oh,
And then it jumps to a dead person on a rocking chair.
Mhm.
What else is decent about this movie?
I actually think the dude that plays Jack Frost before he becomes a snowman is a really good does a really good job.
He also voices Jack Frost.
Yeah, which I also think the voice acting is good too.
He's definitely over the top, but it's the right casting for this role.
Well, yeah, because Jack Frost is supposed to be crazy.
Yeah, I want to say, I think the guy who plays Sam, the sheriff, also does a really great job.
Yeah. I think most of the acting is okay, but those two in particular I thought did a really good job.
Which is weird to think about, that most of the acting in this film was okay.
Yeah.
Because for all rights, this should have been like a really poorly acted
Mm-hmm.
film.
Yeah.
And not only would I say most of the acting's decent, most of the script is decent.
Yeah. I would say a lot of the problems with the script are just bad jokes, but because of the type of movie this is, the bad jokes are okay.
Yeah, weirdly enough, the first half of this film, which I definitely think is in some ways the stronger part,
Mm-hmm.
feels like a standard like detective procedural,
Yeah.
because they're not like showing the snowman and stuff, and it's pretty decently well written for that. With that being said, we've been talking up, positives of this film. It's not to say it's great.
No.
Definitely not. First of all, we should probably talk about the thing that Bob was having the most issue with before the movie.
That's fair.
There is a snowman rape scene.
Yeah,
I guess is the best way to
essentially.
describe it, involving Shanna Elizabeth's character. Jack Frost kind of like comes out of a bathtub where he's water like around her, and then crushes her against a wall. It's not in good taste.
No.
Stuff like that really isn't ever. And then my understanding from that is, I think it was just kind of a roll with it kind of bit, because I think what happened is that they were trying to show like her getting crushed against a wall,
Mm-hmm.
and the nose on Frosty fell off, and so they were like, why don't we make this a rape joke, which I don't think was a great choice.
I also don't think it was a great choice.
And there's other issues, but I do think I want to bring up that one, because I think that's what people know this movie for being like really bad.
Yeah.
Outside of that, though, I don't know. Do you have any big issues?
It just I think my big thing is tonally and also like graphically, it is all over the place and it feels like a mess. When I don't think it has to be. Like, I definitely think there's a way you could have taken the same idea, concept, and story and sort of honed it in and gone more of a single direction and made it a much better movie, right?
Yeah, but I think kind of the thing they were going for when they decided to go comedy was full bonkers off the wall comedy. And they definitely did that. I don't know if you noticed, there's a guy just walking around the whole time
Yeah.
in like red,
Yeah, I did see
just
it.
doing random shit.
Yeah, I noticed. I guess more my point is, I feel like they didn't lean in hard enough in any one direction. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it wasn't bonkers enough to be insane.
But not insane enough to be bonkers.
My point. Yeah, no, I'm not joking. Like, seriously, like, I feel like they could have just leaned even harder into the insane part and it would have made the movie better. But because there's moments of, like,
Clarity at the beginning.
clarity, but also, like, sort of super gritty, like, gross shit, it doesn't work. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I mean, it's all over the place. But again, I think it's hard for me to shit on it too much when I'm like, wow, this is so much better than Thanksgiving.
No, that's
Like,
my
I
other
had
point.
an actual enjoyable time.
Is like I know I just shit all over it by saying what I said, but because it's all over the place, none of the things really have to work together. You can just sort of witness it and go, that was an experience.
Was an experience.
And that's kind of what I did. But it wasn't awful.
Yeah, honestly, I think the worst part of it, just as like a film goes, is the suit for the killer snowman.
Yeah, I think the Killer Snowman looks stupid.
It's just a really bad suit. It can barely move,
Mm-hmm.
so they can't really do any scenes with Jack moving,
Yep.
which suck. But I thought for like a very low budget film, they worked really well around that restriction. Like, they'll have the head turn sometimes or the mouth move a little
Yeah.
bit. And, it doesn't look great, but I wasn't expecting a lot, and they did more than I was expecting for essentially a non-movable suit.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, I completely agree.
And that's kind of, I think, the representation of this whole film. It's just better than I was expecting.
Better than I was expecting, but still not good. I don't know.
Like
this
fruitcake.
I don't like fruitcake. I think fruitcake's fucking gross. And I will stand by that. It's like the worst holiday dessert. Like, who... I don't know a single person who goes and buys fruitcake from anywhere.
Well, most people don't buy fruitcake. They either get given fruitcake or they make fruitcake.
No one I know has ever made a fruitcake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just,
Oh.
it's just always been like a gross dessert to me. I don't know.
Well, have you ever had fruitcake?
Yeah, I think it
Is this
sucks.
like your strong opinions of Die Hard? even
No,
though
I
you've
think
never seen
fruitcake
Die Hard?
sucks.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Anyway, back to Jack Frost. I thought it was fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's kind of cool to see this got made. I didn't put down a lot of facts, I wrote this at this point like a month ago, so I don't remember a lot of just reading. But from what I could tell, it was a struggle to get this thing done, and you know it's always impressive to see something like that gets done and succeeds, because this was like a big like film at VHS stores.
Mhm.
Do you remember seeing it when we were little?
Yeah,
I remember seeing it at Blockbuster.
that's why I watched it.
And I mean, it tricked a lot of people because the cover kind of looked like the 1998 Jack Frost, and it was really cool. It was like holographic, but they made a film for very little money, and they got it sidelined for like a couple years, and eventually got it out there for distribution, and they eventually managed to get a sequel, because this film does have a sequel.
That is crazy.
So yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, this is a hard one to talk about because like there's just so much nothing.
It's an experience.
It's an experience, but also like, by God, it's weird. It's just a weird, not great film.
I guess you got anything else, or you just want to go to reviews?
I think I'm okay. I don't really want to talk about this movie anymore.
Okay. Recommendations?
I mean, I think if the concept of a sniller,
A snowman?
a sniller snowman, no, a killer snowman interests you at all, I think I've not seen another killer snowman film, so this is probably your best bet. It's an okay Christmas movie. I don't think Christmas plays that big of a role in it because it doesn't feel festive. It just feels like it is Christmas because of like the time, you know what I mean? Like Christmas is not important, but Christmas is happening.
Oh, I don't even know if it's Christmas time.
I don't even know. Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, they have they have a Christmas tree up.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of stuff happening. It's
But it could
Christmas.
just be Snowminton.
It could just be Snowminton. Yeah, I mean, those are my two like big ones. Like, I don't really know what else to say about the film for recommendations.
Okay. I guess for me, it's kind of if you want the experience of watching Jack Frost, this is Jack Frost. I think it's worth a watch, especially if you're watching it with friends, because it's a goofy, fun movie.
That's fair.
I think you can have a lot of fun with this film with other people, just like laughing at it and not taking it too seriously. And I mean, I think that's what it was made for, and I think that's really cool. Plus, if you have nostalgia for it, for whatever reason,
Fair.
you know, it is available still somehow. Anyways, rate it.
Huh. I'm in a really weird spot.
It's better than expected.
Because it's better than expected, but does it even meet my standards? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but what does it meet the standards of just any other movie? Like, where...
What am I comparing it
What
to?
is my comparison? Yeah, what's my jumping off point?
Itself or something else?
I think I'm going to give it a 2.5. Because I liked it way more than I thought I was going to, but it's still not a good film.
Yeah. I think I'm in the same boat. Like, this does way better than I think it should have.
For sure.
And it's way better than some other, like, comparable puppet movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Thanksgiving.
God damn.
So, you know, I'm going to give it a 2.5 as well. I think that's pretty fair. I can't imagine giving it a 3.
No, I can't.
Because that feels too close to, like, just...
an okay movie.
This is an okay film. And it's fine, but there is still a lot of issues with this film. And
Yeah.
if you have problems with this film, like with those issues, it's not going to be watchable.
Mm-hmm. No,
So,
agreed.
2.5.
Yeah.
I guess that just leaves us with outtakes.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll have anything,
I don't know. We marked some stuff.
but
We'll see.
We'll see.
All right. See you guys in a minute. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the outtakes. Do we have any announcements, Ben?
I mean, we've said this before. We're doing a New Year's episode
Yes, we are.
in a couple days. So check that out when that happens. Bob still doesn't know what that movie is.
No, I don't. We haven't
So-
recorded that, so how would I know?
Maybe we'll figure that out eventually. Otherwise, usual spiel. Check us out wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcast. If you're checking us out on any podcast-specific platform, please give us a quick rating or review. It really helps us out with getting seen by other people on those platforms. You could also recommend us to a friend. We really appreciate that. It's probably the best way to help the podcast out. And that makes you a really nice pal. Now, if you want to check the podcast out somewhere else, one of the big places to do that is YouTube. Well, not the best for audio-only content. It is pretty nice for showing us some support. We can see your likes, subscriptions, stuff like that. We really appreciate that. It really gives us motivation to do stuff like these extra episodes. If you're checking us out on YouTube, you might like some of the cool tools that are offered over there. We got a bell button, which lets you get notified whenever we post something new. So in case we're posting something out of our usual schedule, like this episode, for instance, it'll keep you notified. There's also a search button on our channel, which lets you search key terms in all our videos. So in case you're looking to see if we've covered a specific movie, that's a pretty easy way to do that. But the big thing with YouTube is it's one of the two major places to communicate with us at. You can do that in the comment section of a specific episode if there's something you want to talk to us about there, or you can go over to Twitter, Appleware the Board, and go chat up Bob. Maybe give him your secret recipe for oats.
Not the secret oat recipe.
It'll really help him out in a time of crisis.
I'm honestly so glad that came back around. That was such a funny bit. Like Ben said, check us out on Twitter, @BewareTheBoard. It's where we post updates about the show, information about the show. Basically, if there's anything new about the show, it goes on our Twitter. On Mondays, I post a spoiler post for that week's worth of episodes, which is a hidden movie cover you can reveal, so you can watch the film before we do. So in these episodes, you don't get any spoilers or being vague about stuff, you know what we're talking about. Then on Fridays, or whatever other day an episode goes live, I always post a link to the episode on our Twitter. So if you've ever been upload or want to know someone up, there's always a link there. Last thing, we do short form content for the show over on @BewareTheBoard on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. So if you like short form content and want to support the show, check us out over there @BewareTheBoard on YouTube Shorts and on TikTok @BewareTheBoard as well. Ben, I think that's it.
Oh, I got one more thing.
Oh no.
Nice little question for you.
What?
What's the difference between snowmen and women?
I don't know.
Snowballs!
That joke isn't funny.
Good night, folks.
Goodbye, everybody.